Bene, allora possiamo riprendere. Invito tutti a rientrare, a riprendere il posto, visto che siamo stati bene nei tempi, devo dire. Coloro che hanno ritirato la cuffia per la traduzione simultanea, il canale per la traduzione è il 2 e vi ricordiamo di non tenere il device in tasca perché si creano delle interferenze, quindi se potete nel taschino della giacca, in mano, così si sente perfettamente. A questo punto abbiamo un altro momento molto prezioso che stiamo aspettando della nostra mattinata. Abbiamo il grande piacere di avere con noi un collega, professore, consulente, formatore, divulgatore. Invito sul palco il professore Yves Van Vaerenbergh, professore di Customer Experience Management alla Regia Università di Leuven in Belgio. Quindi facciamo un applauso al professore.
Thank you very much. All right. Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. I have one goal for today. And that one goal is to make each and every one of you depressed. If you're wondering why, well, I'm going to talk about customer experience management. And I'm going to talk about, well, the state of customer experience management and some things that we observed. So I think it's very safe to say that everyone is talking about the customer experience these days. Right? It's a hot topic. I hear about it all the time. I hear it in boardrooms. I hear it among managers. I see more keynotes, yeah, obviously. Blog posts, I see more books, articles, you name it. I see more software companies. I don't know any customer service department anymore. They're all customer experience departments these days. So everyone is talking about the customer experience. And given that attention that is being paid to the customer experience, you would expect that the customer experience is really taking off, that we see like a major improvement in the customer satisfaction or in the customer experience. Now, let's have a look at some data, right? Because I'm a professor, I don't like to talk, or I don't like to speak from the gut. I want to see some data. I want to see some hard evidence. And what does that data say? Well, customer satisfaction barely improved over the last 20, 25 years. It barely improved. What else do we know? Well, the way that organizations are dealing with customers' problems did not improve over a 50-year period. So customer satisfaction with complaint handling, with dealing with problems, did not improve over a 50-year period. And a recent study, a recent survey by Qualtrics involving, I think it was 24 countries, I think Italy was one of them. That study shows that 8 out of 10 consumers want organizations to improve their customer experience. 8 out of 10. That's an awful lot. So here's an example of the American Customer Satisfaction Index. And we can use many indices. This one is the best documented that we have. And do you notice something peculiar about this graph? Is there something that catches your attention? Well, have a look at the last couple of years. Customer satisfaction is decreasing at a national level. We see this in multiple countries. We see this actually all around the world. Now, I know what you're thinking. hey, come on, we had COVID, right? So it's obvious that satisfaction is decreasing. Well, if we look at COVID, that's weird, because customer satisfaction started decreasing before the corona crisis. And it's actually something structural. It's not like a one-year issue, it's a one-year dip. We see a structural decrease in customer satisfaction over the last couple of years. I don't know about you, but I find this problematic. And why do I find this problematic? Because when I plot the attention that is being paid to customer experience, that's weird. Right? So the moment that the interest in customer experience starts to increase, that's the moment that customer satisfaction starts to decrease. I told I was going to make you depressed, right? This is what I call the customer experience paradox. It seems that the more attention we pay to the customer experience, the worse it becomes. Now you might think, okay, hey, we have an explanation. It's all about customer expectations. Right? Customer expectations these days, they go through the roof, right? Customers expect more and more and more. Well, actually, if we look at the data about customer expectations, over a 25-year period, customer expectations increased with 3%. 3%. If you look at a lot of publications these days, a lot of LinkedIn posts these days, it seems like it improved with 300%. But the basic expectations of a customer are still the same. Care about me, listen to me, pay attention to me, solve my problem. Customers didn't change that much, essentially. So expectations are not an explanation for what we observe. Problem. It's not corona, it's not expectations. So what is it? Well, we're developing this theory, this idea, that maybe organizations are not made to deliver good experiences to customers. As they say in English, you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. So all the initiatives that we're taking, well, maybe we as organizations are not ready for it. Right now, we analyzed many organizations. We analyzed many cases. And we have started to observe a pattern. And let me give you some examples. Some examples why I believe that organizations are not ready for it. First of all, organizations are too obsessed with efficiency. We heard a lot of talk about cost already. Is loyalty a cost or a profit center? Most organizations are really obsessed with cost. They're really obsessed with efficiency. And if you're a manufacturer, that makes a lot of sense. Because if you improve your manufacturing process, well, your satisfaction will go up. Why? There are less defective products, cost can go down, so price can go down, it's more satisfaction. But if we talk about services, if we talk about experience, it's a very different ballgame. For services, it's actually a little bit like this. You need efficiency, obviously. You need it. But we are treating customers very often in a way that is too efficient. Just think at a recent call that you had with a contact center. Didn't you have the feeling that they were trying to get you off the phone as quickly as possible, right, in order to meet their average handling time target? Let me do an exercise. What I want you to do is to think about a recent experience that you had that was very positive. something very positive, right? Like, wow. Who had an experience in mind within 5 seconds? Please raise your hand. Not all at the same time, please. That experience, those people, those 5 people that had a positive experience, proving my point, those 5 people, was it because the technology was super convenient? Or was it because you could pay in a very swift way? Or was it because there was something super inefficient? There was a problem, inefficient, that the organization addressed in a perfect way. Or maybe it's a chat with an employee that you had, like a nice talk. From an organizational point of view, that's a nightmare. Because an employee chatting with a customer, that takes time, and time is money. Those inefficiencies are actually creating memorable experiences, are actually creating the best experiences. Think about a thank you card. Studies show that sending a handwritten thank you card to customers increases sales with 25 to 50%. From an organizational point of view, nightmare. Why? Well, it's much cheaper, much more efficient if you print 100,000 thank you cards and send them to customers. If you need to write them by hand, it costs an awful lot of money. Jumbo, a Dutch retailer, recently opened a chatty checkout. You can talk with the person at the cash register for as long as you want. It's only one, so people looking for convenient, efficient solutions, they have a cash register. But everyone else who likes to have a chat with an employee, they can use this one. Guess what happened? Employee satisfaction went up. Customer satisfaction went up. We recently had a talk with a manager, 50 employees, and they took the risk of hiring 4 additional employees. And they invested that time into customers, into customer relationships. And what happened was they doubled the revenue. In 1 year, I think it was 1 year, 1.5 year period. Why? Because their employees had the time to connect with customers, had the time to understand customers' problems, and had the time to offer alternative solutions or to ask others in the organization to develop alternative solutions. We are too focused on efficiency. Something else is that we are too focused on control. We like to be in control. We love it as an organization, right? We like to control our employees. Are they doing the right thing? But we also like to control our customers. I don't know how it is in Italy, but in Belgium and other parts of the world, if I want to take a shopping cart at a retailer, I need to insert a coin, right? I don't know about you, but I'm always the idiot that forgets a coin. So I'm always there like, why is the retailer doing this? Because they believe that without that coin, those shopping carts will end up everywhere. I don't know about you, but I do not really have the intention to take a shopping cart and put it in my garden. And actually, during Corona, there was a law that forbid these coins. So retailers had to unlock the shopping carts. That was wonderful. That was heaven. Because I was no longer standing there like, damn it. The moment that the numbers became better, I had to insert that coin again. We don't trust our customers. So what happens if you give up control? Well, a lot of beautiful things happen. Recently, I advised an organization to put a customer in the recruitment and selection process of new employees. And I saw that manager again a couple of months later and asked him about it. So how did it go? Oh, whew. Yeah, we had to do a lot of negotiations within the organization to do it. We ultimately hired someone that we would not hire. So, and how did it go? It's the best employee that we ever had. Why? Because customers are paying attention to different things than you are. It's well documented that managers have a pretty bad understanding of their customers. We don't understand our customers well. We think that we understand them, and we project our own ideas on customers. If you involve customers in R&D processes, it doesn't make your products more radical. It doesn't make them more innovative, but the development cycle goes a lot faster. So organizations that do this, they actually increase their financial performance. And if there's one place where everyone would not put a customer, it's either in a top management team or in a board of directors. So what happens when you do that? Well, it increases organization performance with 12%. If you give up control, magical things happen. Another example that organizations are not made to deliver good experiences to customers is that we're so focused on frictionless experiences, the ultimate convenience, right? That's what everyone is telling you. That's what every software vendor is telling you. But is that a very good idea? Well, let me tell you, being super convenient makes you boring. Boring? What do you mean? Well, if everything goes swiftly, people don't remember you. That's how easy it is. Okay, you don't believe me? Let's have a look at some data. Those squares should not be on there. But the frictionless experience is something like this. Whenever we do customer journey mapping exercises, we go with those 5 people in a meeting room and hang Post-its on the wall. This is often our goal. We want to have a high level of satisfaction, or whatever you want to call it, across the entire journey. What happens is that people forget this. There must be some friction. And that's actually what we call the peak-end rule, which has been shown, which has been demonstrated over and over again. This is a lot better. This is a lot better. It's okay to have these negative experiences. This is fine. It's not a problem if a customer has to wait on a phone for a reasonable amount of time, as long as it's followed by a great experience. And on top of that, if the end of the conversation is a positive experience as well. If the end of the journey is positive. This is what people remember. This is what people talk about, not the frictionless, super convenient experiences. Don't believe me? How long does it take you to wait for an attraction in a theme park? If you're lucky, 30 minutes, 40, 50, 1 hour, an hour and a half, waiting, okay, closer, closer. And what do people remember? The 1 hour and a half of waiting, or the 1 minute of adrenaline rushing through your veins? What do people remember? They forget about that negative experience. Organizations are too focused on delivering frictionless experiences. Final one, by the way, I could make a list of 10. I selected some. But what I see today, well, not only today, is that many organizations are too focused on technology. They believe that technology will solve all their problems, but all their problems. And you have the Salesforce, SAP, I hope they're not people in the room of these companies, but they promise you this. They give you a demonstration where everything works perfectly, where everything is fantastic. Until the moment you start to implement these technologies. Then you notice, like, this is not going as planned. Right? Why is the technology not working here? Because the rest of the organization needs to follow. Implementing a customer experience package or a customer loyalty package or whatever software you want to call it is not going to solve your problems. It's a tool. And a fool with a tool is still a fool. What I also see is that sometimes people search for the most advanced technologies. Nowadays, everyone is talking about generative AI. Everyone is talking about machine learning and all these things. Very often, very simple solutions, very simple technologies can solve your problems. I have 2 little kids, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and we went to Center Parcs. I don't know whether you know it. It's like a park, there's a big swimming pool. And a couple of years ago, we got this watch with an RFID chip in it. An RFID chip, radio frequency identification. That technology is 50 years old. And with that chip, I could unlock the door of the house. I could get a cabin at the swimming pool. I could lock it, and various other stuff. Simple technology improved the experience tremendously. What I also see is that many organizations are investing heavily in technology, and you should. You should, right? But technology investment is just creating kind of a standard model. But think about it. You're implementing technology from Salesforce, from SAP, from Google, from Facebook, with big 5 companies. And everyone is doing that. So everyone is implementing the same technology. How are you going to differentiate? Not with the technology itself. Depressed? I met my goal. I'm at least one person who is happy. We are too obsessed with efficiency, we're too obsessed with control, too obsessed with technology. We're too obsessed with customer happiness, by the way. And there are a lot of other things that we're too obsessed with. But we need something else. What I like to call a Copernican revolution. We need to change the way organizations are built. We need to restructure organizations. We need to reinvent organizations. Copernicus said that the Earth revolves around the sun. Before that, everyone said it was the opposite. We need a Copernican revolution. Nowadays, I see many organizations that believe that they are the center of attention, they are the sun, and customers are circling around it. It's actually the other way around. So, okay, we have this situation, And we just knew we had to do something about it. We knew we had to understand, like, okay, if organizations need to change, what do they need to do to change? What's the trajectory? Well, first of all, recognizing that it's change, recognizing that it's business transformation, recognizing that there are no magical solutions that will help you, that's already a big thing, big step. But that doesn't help you. So let's break it down into 10 things. We analyzed the 10 things that organizations are doing that are successful at the customer experience. They have a great strategy. If I would ask each and every one of you, what's the experience you want to deliver as an organization? Which kind of experience? I'm pretty sure that you cannot answer it, that you haven't defined it. We want to create customer satisfaction. We want to improve the customer experience. What experience? CX leaders define this. They connect it to the brand. The brand is a promise that you make. That's what people have in mind. I see too many organizations taking customer experience initiatives that are totally disconnected from the brand. So that's something that you need to do. They collect solid customer insights. Solid customer insights. Not just a survey that they send out. Survey is easy. That's lazy, actually. But talking to customers, inviting them, having a coffee with them, having a decent conversation with them, that's a different ballgame. So that's what they do. They design the experience carefully. Not just journey mapping workshops in a meeting room, but they design it carefully. Every touch point has a function. They think about, okay, if we want to deliver a new kind of experience, our people need to be able to deliver that experience. Our customers need to do things themselves. So how are we going to educate customers' employees? How are we going to train customers and employees to take up their role right within the customer experience? We need to change our processes. We need to change our KPIs. NPS is a very bad metric. It doesn't tell you anything. What's most interesting is what people say at the bottom of your NPS survey. Studies show that that information is actually more predictive of customer loyalty than the score itself. Actually, your most loyal customers are the ones who complain. So ignoring complaining customers is a very bad idea. Organizations that thrive at the customer experience, they invest in customer service. I was surprised to see that customer care was not really point of attention. Great customer care, great customer service is essential for a customer experience strategy. They rethink their organizational structure. They appoint customer experience teams that are not a department. They transcend the departments. They help the departments achieve their goals. Right? And they build a customer-centric culture. And the reason that I'm mentioning that as the last one is it's because the hardest. It's the most difficult one. Sometimes managers come to me and say, hey, can you give us a magic tip for creating a customer experience culture? And I always say, nope. Work hard. If you do all the other things, then you can arrive at that customer-centric culture. We actually built a canvas to help organizations. And whenever we work with organizations, I'm not only a professor, I also work in Capire, which is our spin-off company. We go through organizations, and we go through the canvas with them. And we check with them, okay, what are you doing well, and what are you not doing well? And then we can start improving. And then we can start developing a business transformation trajectory, which is usually 1.5 years to 2 years. but it needs to be done. If you want to be great at the customer experience, you need to transform your organization. So what do I want you to take with you? First, I can make you depressed. Very good. But customers today, the customer experience is actually not that great. It's actually pretty bad out there. Right? So be careful if you hear very success stories. Customer experience requires a business transformation, and it's actually about change management. It's not only about marketing. Who works in the marketing department? Okay, I expected more. That's good. But it's change management. It's the entire organization that needs to work on it. All right, my time is up. 5 minutes ago, it was up. Sorry. I have a gift for you. One of our goals is to help organizations to professionalize the market, to give our insights to organizations. Right? We developed a 1-hour mini course, right, on the canvas, what's in every section, in every box, and that's what you can use. You have free access to it with the promo code. Thank you very much for having me here. I hope you find it inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yves. Really, thank you. Great presentation. I was depressed for almost 20 minutes, but then you left us with some hope, so thank you very much.
Thank you.